We have spoken. It's back for 2021. I'm me. She's her. Reagan, the biggest Mandalorian fan that I know. Me, her favorite fan in the house. Every Saturday morning, talking Star Wars. This is now a Star Wars show. Every Saturday morning, I couldn't find something, but there it is. And we're going to lead off with The Mandalorian. Our love for The Mandalorian is huge. Today, we're going to start off with episode 1. We're going to go 16 straight weekends talking about each episode, so you can follow along if you want. Episode 1, we've all probably seen it 20 times by now if you're here watching the show. I certainly have watched it a lot. She's watched it a lot. We're going to talk about it all the way through to episode 16, and then we're going to dive into other things. The Clone Wars, I started with you on New Year's Eve. You got some Christmas stuff. You got something in your lap. Are you excited about this show moving forward now that The Mandalorian is on a little break?
Yeah, I am.
There you go. Yeah, I am. So why don't we start off with what you got for Christmas to get you talking to the people? What do you have in your lap there? What do you want to show them? First, we should talk to everybody who's in the chat already. Bloomin' Cheese and first one in here. Good morning to you. Glad to see you here. Your good friend Taylor is here.
Hi,
What's
Taylor.
going on, Taylor? I hope you're having a great day. Resort Budgeting's here. I'll shut up. I can see you want to show that. What do you got there, buddy?
This is a Grogu animatronic mom and dad got me.
Yeah?
And this was really hard for my mom to find.
Does it do anything?
Yeah, let me turn it on.
That'd be good. We should turn it on and show the people. And then you got something else down there. Well, we'll show this off first. All right, real close. Put it up there. What's this? I'm not so sure about it. It's got the cool. Ooh, it's pretty cool looking feeling. I don't know, Mando necklace. I don't know what to call that.
Child of the Watch necklace.
Child of the Watch necklace?
Yeah, it's their symbol.
It's their symbol?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, whatever. Pretty cool. Hey, Mar, what's going on? It makes creepy noises.
It makes Grogu noises.
Okay. And then what else you got down there? She's got a pretty cool backpack. She's pretty excited about it. It's got frogs on it, which I think are hilarious because, I mean, they put bacon on a well, I guess, whatever. It is what it is. You love it?
Yeah.
What's in there? Anything fun?
Just my stuff.
Just my stuff. Taylor says, OMG, that's adorable. Mara says, good morning to you. Resort Budgeting says, good morning to you. Bloomin' Cheese and says, good morning to you. Everybody saying hi to everybody. We're really glad you're here. So can we talk about New Year's Eve before we get into the first episode of Mandalorian?
Sure.
So on New Year's Eve, we hung out together, me and her. We took Peyton to a little thing she was doing, and we took Mom. She had a thing at church, and we just stayed in the house. And we watched the first, I don't even know how many we watched. The first few episodes of Clone Wars. Ray J in the house, what's going on? My man, I'm glad to see you here. Welcome in. I lost my voice. I got a frog in my throat all of a sudden.
Maybe Grogu can eat it for
Yeah,
you.
maybe he's hungry. Anyway, so I really liked it. So I didn't know there was a movie that preceded the series until you told me that last night.
There was a movie that started the series.
Yeah. So I guess in 2007 there was a movie and we watched that. It was good. I don't know, like a full-length movie. And that's where we meet who Ahsoka and all those things.
Yeah, it's where we first learned about the whole Anakin Skywalker Padawan thing.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
And believe it or not, Obi-Wan and Yoda planned the whole Anakin get a Padawan, even though he clearly did not want one.
Obi-Wan didn't want to have somebody following him around and having to teach. But
Anakin didn't.
Oh, what did I say? I said Obi-Wan didn't.
Obi-Wan.
But it clearly turned around pretty fast. And that's kind of the whole story, how the whole story starts, yes?
Yes.
So I had seen the first episode of the Clone Wars series a few times, and it's just Yoda and a bunch of, I want to call them stormtroopers, but they're clones. Yeah, they're clones cruising around and doing some damage. And it was kind of fun. But I think I would have been more excited about it had I watched the movie first, like you told me to do.
I told you should have.
You did. I should have listened. Taylor says, I got a Razor Crest Lego set. Nice.
Now
and I'm excited to vote.
Cool.
Yeah, we need to get that. I didn't even know they had that. The Razor Crest is pretty cool. Although it gets so moving towards episode 1. Nico the Greeko in the house. What's going on? Good morning to you. My daughter bought herself that same animatronic child, says Mar. It's pretty cool. So since you opened it, since we got it for you, whatever, I've seen it a few times on like Instagram and stuff. Katrina in the house, what's going on? Paxman's in the house, what's going on? Arlene, good morning to you. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody. I haven't said that to anybody yet. Yeah, I don't know. So
don't grab it by the ears.
Oh, don't grab it by the ears. Sorry. So you're gonna do a.
The instructions say do not grab by the ears, so I wouldn't.
Okay. All right. think he's creepy.
I think he's cute.
I think I don't want to hold him. I'm afraid that he's going to force choke me, and I'm just going to shut up now. Maximus in the house, Katrina in the house, Pearl Manhattan in the house, Arlene in the house, the eclectic Mima in the house. So can we get, you want us to keep talking about your stuff? You want to go to Clone Wars, or you want to talk about the Mandalorian? It's really your show. All right, so let's get to the Mandalorian. So episode 1, scene 1. I'll talk about it a little bit, and then I'll get your reaction, okay? Opening scene. We get a device beeping. All we hear is a device beeping, right? It's pretty... higher pitch than that, but whatever. There's a Mythrol. We don't know really who he is yet, but he's got a kind of I'm an accountant. I mean, maybe I think that because I know he is. He's got this I'm ready to be bullied kind of voice. Let's put it that way. And he's being bullied, and he, Mando cruises in and sees this guy being bullied, and we don't know what he's doing yet because we haven't seen why Mando's coming in there yet. And then he gets in a fight. Now, one of those actors I've mentioned before on the show is a UFC fighter from back in the day. The other one, I don't know who the heck he is. So I was excited in the very, very first scene. You got a UFC fighter. I'm a big UFC fan. And they're going to town, and they have a big fight. They're having a conversation. No, they're not. The bullies are talking in some other language. The bartender clearly knows what's going on. We can't read Mando's face. He's not talking to us. We know nothing except for he walked in a Mandalorian walks in a bar.
And
anyway,
everybody froze.
Yes. So then they get in a fight. Bingo, bango. He throws him his, I'll call it a beer. He smashes the beer in the alien's face, and we're going to town. We're into it. 30 seconds into the show, we're into some excitement. One of them tries to run away when he sees that Mando's going to take care of it. Mando catches him by the foot, pulls him in, uses his blaster to hit the
door controls.
Yes. Snaps cuts his head off. Guillotine and Marie Antoinette.
He cuts his hips off with the door.
Hips?
Yes.
I thought it was the head.
It was the hips.
Wasn't Marie Antoinette style?
I have no idea what that means.
Anyway, and then we learn about a bounty puck, right? The fight's done. Boom, we sit down. Let's have a conversation. Hey, thanks so much. Stone cold nothing, because you can't read his face, right? Hey, by the way, you can have all my credits. Nothing. Turns on the bounty puck, which we learn of for the first time, and we see, is that me, says the Mythrol, and all of a sudden he's back to what? Then, boom, cut to the Clint Eastwood style Western music. I love it. I love it. I love it. What are we, like 2 minutes into the scene? Yeah. Then we get onto the ice, and what do we learn instantly? We learn that we've got cool monsters and cool planets in this amazing.
Mando's a bounty hunter.
And he's a bounty hunter.
And also, he has this wacky line saying, I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Exactly. So one of the things that I think for me as a kiddo, 1977 started when I was 7, and I'm 51 now, still holds true in the Star Wars universe. I love the planets and how they're also diverse. I love all the monsters and how crazy they are, and I love all the spaceships and how crazy they are, right?
Yeah.
And we learned all of that in the first 3 minutes. The Razor Crest is cool looking. There's a cool monster that's hungry and wants to eat the Razor Crest, and they're on an ice planet. I am totally in love with this show. 3 or 4 minutes in? Yeah. What do you think about the very beginning, episode 1? What was your favorite parts of it? What do you want to say? Hey, Pete McDevitt in the house. What's going on? Are we talking about Star Wars today? Yes, Star Wars every Saturday morning. No Star Trek here because I use Stride S. All right, there you go. So anyway, first episode, go.
I think the fight scene is my favorite. But there are a lot of other scenes that I like further out in the movie. Yeah. But at the first beginning, the fight scene is definitely my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I know you didn't care, but for me, seeing an actor that I knew that's a UFC fighter, I'm a big UFC fan, that made my day. And that's one of the things, getting off of the first episode into the whole thing, I was already bought in because you were so excited about the Mandalorian. You were into Mandalorian lore because of the Clone Wars?
Yes.
Before I knew what it was, and I've talked about that a lot on the show too. But then when I heard about the movie, I never watched Game of Thrones, but I knew that everybody loved Pedro Pascal, who's, by the way, the biggest star on the planet right now. I read an article yesterday, and he just barely took his hat off on the show, so that's pretty cool. But for me, Bill Burr and Gina Carano, when they were cast in the show, Bill Burr is Mayfield, and Gina Carano is Cara Dune. And I, again, UFC fan, I loved and I still love Gina Carano, unrelated to the Mandalorian. She's one of my top 20 favorite people. If I could go have lunch with somebody, it's probably Gina Carano, and Bill Burr might be in the top 100 too. I love Bill Burr. He's a comedian. He's on my favorite show ever, Breaking Bad, hilarious comedian, and they were both in it. And then it's Star Wars 2, and I already love it. Who's your favorite character in The Mandalorian?
Probably The Mandalorian.
Okay, so Pedro.
But it's also Bo-Katan.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say Bo-Katan for sure.
They're my two favorite characters.
I would have thought it was.
But Grogu is a really good one too.
I was gonna say Ms. Tano would be number 2 on your list. Am I crazy?
No, Grogu would be.
Okay, all right.
No, Bo-Katan would be number 2 on my list.
Very cool. Let me get caught up in chat. OMG, not a huge Mando fan, but Jeff, I really love where'd it go? Love the energy you have with your daughter. My first time being up early enough to watch. I have 4 daughters, and they're tied for my favorite humans, but she's definitely one of them. And she loves The Mandalorian, so this is a lot of fun. This is like, I don't know. I like a lot of our shows, but this is the show that we talk about the most during the week. Hey, we can talk about this week. We can talk about that. And I'm kind of excited, to be honest, that the season's over for this show, because it gives me a lot of opening to just ask her fun questions about The Mandalorian. So back to the episode 1. For me, the scene in the bar and the music made it instantly a Western. Now,
yeah, I got a kind of a Western feeling when the music started playing.
A space Western, right? Totally
unique.
And it's weird for me to say this. I think you're going to understand this. I don't know if they will. I never have watched the Clone Wars. I just started New Year's Eve. Like I've seen the first episode of the series like 3 times, just sitting around watching you, and you put it on. I'm not really paying attention. But I started for the first time New Year's Eve, so it's 2 days ago, right? A day and a half ago, because it was late at night. But I was already a fan of Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars. Why? Because I'd seen him in interviews, and his love for George Lucas and his love for the Star Wars universe made me love wanting to watch the Clone Wars. But we kind of been waiting, right? And so now we're doing it.
Isn't Dave Filoni one of the directors that does Mandalorian?
He's the guy with the hat and the interviews we watched yesterday.
Yeah, he's one of the directors of Mandalorian.
Jon Favreau is the director, the producer of the entire thing. Dave Filoni is kind of the second in hand. Dave Filoni was the director and creator of all the animated stuff. Dave Filoni, for the first time ever, directed human beings in The Mandalorian. So Jon Favreau is the top one. And if you've watched, what was Disney Gallery, I think it's called, on Disney Plus, so good. It makes me want to be a movie maker. Like, this YouTube thing has made me like, lighting. I'm not really good at lighting, obviously, with a light on our face, but all the stuff about how to create, what George Lucas went to film school, and watching those interviews, I was always interested in all those things after he became so huge. And then now I'm watching Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. What Jon Favreau built for this and future movies is amazing. You need to watch Disney Gallery. But back to The Mandalorian season 1, episode 1. It's a space Western. And it's a space Western because George Lucas wanted Star Wars to be a space Western, and Dave Filoni got it. Dave Filoni wears his Christmas hat, his cowboy hat. Mm-hmm. And he's a cowboy. He's a cowboy. And they bring it to it so well with that music and the attitude. And Mando, like when you see Clint Eastwood in the old 60s and 70s movies, he's walking with that certain gait, and they've got that they add that spur noise. The Mandalorian kind of has that. Do you love that?
I like The Mandalorian.
What did you like best about those first scenes that we talked about? The bar scene, the fight scene, and then they're on the ice. They're taking the Mythrol to the Razor Crest. What did you like about all that?
Honestly, I liked it all. I thought it was really good. The music they played, the style they had in making everything happen, the action, the way it was executed.
Yeah.
It was all really great.
When we're watching it together, she'll say things to me like, wow, I really like how they edited that. I remember you said that to me the other day, and I was like, I love that you noticed that. Anyway, I think that The Mandalorian is a masterclass in telling stories. I really do, and I love it. I love it. We're way behind in chat. Let me get caught up in chat. But to answer the question I asked you, for me, the music was a big piece of it. I love that they use the Mandalorian and his speech pattern to give you this sense of calm. You don't get to see his eyes. You don't get to see his face. You don't get to see any of it. So there's a little mystery to it. I think that's a great device.
Yeah, and I love mystery.
I do too. Nico the Greco in the house. A lot of female fighters did not like Gina while she was in the UFC. Yeah, you know what? When somebody punches me in the face and I get knocked out, I wouldn't like them either. There's this whole blue-red thing. Gina's a very opinionated young lady. Like, I'm a very opinionated old guy. The world likes to pretend like she's disliked because there's people who don't agree with her politics. Nobody cares about Pedro. Pedro Pascal, far to the left. Gina, far to the right. Nobody complains about Pedro. So I don't understand it. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be? Gina and Pedro love each other. It's just the Twitterverse that hates it. But in UFC land, yeah, you get punched in the face. Gina's not in great need of people's approval. That's kind of what I like about her. But yeah, she's stud. Tommy from Corner Sports in the house. What's going on, my man? I need to watch Clone Wars. They're pretty fun, Mar. They're pretty fun. I'm only
start the movie, otherwise you end up like that.
Start with the movie. Start with the movie. I agree. She did tell me that.
I tried to tell you. You did not listen. You should always listen to me.
What's that?
I tried to tell you about the movie. You didn't listen. You should always listen to me.
What did you say?
I told you should start with the movie.
What's that?
Very funny.
Mar in Memphis, I agree, and you should. I would start with the movie, or you'll get that face. Fulton Mraz in the house is going on. I have the biggest, huge. You have big announcements. I love all your announcements, buddy. What? You're interviewing Tim McGraw? Okay, cool, interesting. Thank you. I went to a Tim McGraw. I'm not even a country music fan, Fulton, and I went to a Tim McGraw. I was actually in row like 20 for a Tim McGraw. I didn't mean to, but that's what happened. It's a whole thing. It's a fun story, but not today. But anyway, congratulations. I hope it goes well. That's interesting. I hear he's a very nice guy. Also, he was the dad in The Blind Side, but whatever. Katrina's in the house. Mar, I've been watching Clone Wars off and on. I can't get into it. Katrina, what? That's crazy. Wow, I'm way behind in chat. I apologize to everybody. We'll get to more questions here in a minute, but let me get caught up in chat. Nico says, and Ron Howard's daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard's director on Mando 2. Yeah, 2 episodes. She's great. She's so good in I don't remember which Jurassic Park it is, but it's the one where they throw the monster eats the girl by throwing her up around. It's great. And so remember that one? They're at the park and there's Jimmy Buffett's in it. That one, what the heck is that one? Anyway, she's in that movie and she's great. But she's a really good director and a great actress. She does the one, my favorite Bryce Dallas Howard director story for The Mandalorian. She does the episode where the Razor Crest is, they open up the show, the Razor Crest coming in with the heat shields all being hot coming in from outer space into the atmosphere, and it's totally a throwback to her father, Ron Howard's Apollo 13 scene. We talked about that once before. I love that. I think she's really great. I think she's great. I love her. Here for a moment in the house. What's going on? You collected Mima on the house going on. Love that Mando is a space western. Exactly. Fell in love with it because of that and Grogu. Yeah, we haven't even got to Grogu. Is that the episode 1? Do we meet? We meet him at the end, right?
Yes.
Let me get caught up in chat. We'll get there. Paximus in the house. What's going on, my man? Happy New Year. Really appreciate you being here. By the way, thanks for being members, guys. If you see those people in green, they're members. They get access to those emojis that they're using. I appreciate it very much. Good morning to everybody. If Gina and Pedro can accept their difference, we can't the world? Exactly, Mara. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Why are we mad at people who disagree with us? I don't understand. Faust family at WDW in the house. What's going on? Jurassic World. Is that the one? Yeah. Tina McNeil in the house. Well, she's listening while she's getting coffee and chasing her dogs. Bright suns, she says. Okay, so you want to jump right to the end, the best part?
We need to go through an order.
Okay, go through an order. What else do you want to talk about for episode 1, series 1?
I think it was pretty cool how on Navarro, Mando, they discussed the whole Mando and Grief Kargan discussed about the whole food and money are becoming more scarce right now.
Yep.
Which proves that the New Republic is kind of failing in the Outer Rim.
So we learn a few things in that scene. So first of all, we learn that Carl Weathers is freaking awesome. In case you didn't already know that, I love him. And he's the guy that he beats up Rocky, which is rude, but you're too young to know what I'm talking about. But we the American people meet Carl Weathers, Grief, mid-70s. You're not even a person yet. As the fighter that beats up Rocky, and he's kind of a star, and then he kind of goes away, and he really gave some gravitas to the series actors, right? A bunch of new people that we don't know too well, and Carl Weathers. That was pretty amazing when I learned of that. I remember watching the panel at one of the, I don't know, it was D23 or one of the Star Wars conventions. I think it was D23 where he was on there, and I'm like, wow, I can't wait for that show. And that's when we first heard the we were made aware that it was going to be a space western, which I guess we would have known, because they played a little music. Anyway, I don't want to dive into that too much. But yeah, the interaction between Grief and Mando, and he gives them the puck, and he doesn't know what it is. let's go find out what this thing is. And then I think if I can move forward a little bit, well, we meet the little funny guy that we named the show after We Have Spoken, right? What's his name?
Creel.
Creel?
Yeah, I think that's.
And I think that's Nick Nolte, who's a great actor. He does a great job. Yo, Adrian, exactly, right, Rocky? And so we meet him. He's a great character. We learned that Mando can't ride around on a knot horse. Either can I.
Blurg.
That's what I said. The knot horse.
Apparently, they eat the males during mating.
So see, this is why we bring her along on the show, so we get that kind of hard-hitting stuff. It's like a Black Widow, but grosser.
Yeah, I find that disgusting as a female.
I mean, as a male, I'm not real excited about it. Anyway, so that's a great scene. And I remember, though, honestly, in that scene where Mando, is trying to ride the...
Dad, we skipped over a few scenes.
Okay.
We skipped over the part where Mando gets hired a job to bring in the clients.
Yes.
And we also skipped over the whole covert thing.
Well, I don't know what that is.
You know, when he went back to the Mandalorian, saw the leader, and when he went back to the base, to the undercover Mandalorian.
Yes, yes. Maybe I'm confusing episode 1 and episode 2. So,
yeah, I think you are.
So dive in. So what scene do you want to talk about right now? We'll just talk about it.
I want to talk about the scene when Mando first walks into the city. He sees the leader.
Yeah.
He goes to see the leader, gives her the Beskar. She says...
Who's she?
We don't have her name. She's just called the armor forger right now.
Oh, the Mandalorian leader.
Exactly.
I thought we were talking about the old guy from the Empire.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Basically, she says...
Right here for a moment. Exactly.
Basically, she says... This was gathered in the Great Purge. It's a good thing this was back to the tribe. Which, what is with the weird way they talk? That's weird.
I don't know. They're weirdos. They're cult members.
But Mando doesn't know that.
I mean, we talk weird too. We're weirdo Star Wars nuts. So
there's a difference between Star Wars and nerds.
Plenty of people who could watch the show and think we were the crazy ones. Just saying.
Well, we let our freak flags fly. They are full out crazy.
So you want to talk about the Forger, the cool chick with the cool armor that takes the stuff, and so was that in season 1, episode 1? Am I missing that? I guess I forgot that part.
Yes.
So we learned that Beskar steel is hugely valuable. Yes.
Yes, and it's used in Mandalorian armor.
We learned that it's almost impenetrable. Certainly, kind of a freaking stud if you got some, right?
It can't be impenetrable. The only way it can be forged into armor is if it's melted down under high temperature conditions.
By the way, can I dive back a little bit into I thought our episode of We Have Spoken today was going to be showing off her Christmas gifts because she got a whole bunch of Mandalorian things. But she really wanted to talk about season 1, episode 1. It's cool. I don't care. It's her show. I'm just here to help her do the show. I'm just having fun. But my favorite gift that you got is not in the room right now.
I'm saving it for a special episode.
Oh, so I don't get to tell the people?
No, I'm saving it. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, good thing I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, so we're in the Forger. You want to talk about the Forger? She's got the cool mask. She's a little creepy. Is this where they have their fight?
No, that's episode
I thought
2.
so. I thought so. So what else am I forgetting?
As soon as the lady starts forging Mando's new shoulder pad, the clashes causes a flashback to what I strongly believe is a separatist attack.
Okay, so
on his planet when he was a child.
Mando sees something and remembers when he was a kid.
Exactly.
And you think it was a separatist attack when he got separated.
His parents hid him, and then the Mandalorians found him.
Making him a foundling.
Exactly. You see, I know for a fact that was a separatist attack because those were separatist droids. You can tell from the Clone Wars.
Okay, and then after that, he gets his armor, and is this when we go meet the guy from the Empire?
That's when he starts going on his way to get the clients.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have the puck. He's got this chain code. We've learned very little about him, and all we know is we're going after this 50-year-old thing, right?
Yep. That's pretty much all
I know, right?
for now.
Reagan is talking about where Mando took the reward for the Mythrol to the armorer. I believe you. So at some point, at the end of the first scene of the first series, series 1, episode 1, we meet the coolest droid in the universe, in my opinion. He's like an executioner. He can shoot in all directions. He can see in all directions. What's he called?
IG-88.
That's what I said. I don't know.
I mean, IG-11.
Oh, I thought, yeah. 88.
Well, it's really tricky to keep all the numbers.
I don't even know what you're talking about. All I know is he was
all
skinny.
I know is an IG unit.
Okay. All I know, he was skinny and freaking cool looking. Hey, Antonio, what's going on, my man? And we're just cruising down the Western like Clint Eastwood.
I want to point something out.
I've had a feeling.
The second Mando saw it was an IG unit, it was a little hard for me to tell, but I could tell he was terrified because, due to what happened when he was a child, he has developed a fear of droids.
Francisco now. So yeah, so we learned that very early too. So as soon as we get out of the bar in the first scene, we got on. Well, I guess we're on the ice, and he hails a cab, and the guy goes like Willy Wonka style, and the land speeder rolls up, Luke Skywalker style, right? Hey Josh, what's going on? Hey Michael, what's going on? And Mando says, "What? No droids." So we learn early on that he doesn't like droids, and we later find out why. Here we are with a big, freaking studly, kick butt
Mandalorian who's terrified of droids.
I don't know if he's terrified, but now we're gonna go.
He is scared of them.
We're going to catch the bad guy, right? We don't know it's cute and green and cuddly and like frogs, but we're going to catch the bad guy, and he's got to work with a droid who's freaking awesome, shooting all kinds of stuff. He's my dream. That's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be the, what is it? IBLMNOP?
IG-88.
That's what I said. So we're cruising down the town, Clint Eastwood style, with the
IG-88.
That's what I said.
Another Christmas gift I got from my sister.
Changing the subject drastically. Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe your slippers.
Oompa loompa doopity. Right? All right, so we're cruising down the town, and it's totally Clint Eastwood, right? We got the Western music. We got all the bad guys on the roofs. We're looking around the town. Where's the damsel in distress? It's perfect. We didn't know he's cute and green yet. And
it's not a damsel, it's a he.
It's a little green thing. That scene's amazing. I love that scene. I want that droid to protect my kid. That is awesome. And then the fight is amazing, but they're getting their butts kicked. So what do? Mando just jumps on the big freaking awesome gun that's taking him out and spins her.
Cannon.
That's what I said. And I can't do a show with her because I'm wrong all the time. Anyway, and he jumped on it.
Details wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about. And he takes out everything. It was freaking awesome. I'm like, well, how we get in there?
They use the cannon.
Boom! Perfect scene. I love it. Love the backlit. Right? We're in the room, right? And you can only see Star Wars Disney Gallery. It talks about it. Silhouettes are a big thing. Kathleen Kennedy talks about this. Kathleen Kennedy talks about how silhouettes are so important in Star Wars, and how if you see the silhouette, you can, Yoda, Luke, Darth Vader, all of them, Han Solo. So, and what do you get? You get a silhouette of Mando and the ILMNOP?
IG-88.
That's what I said. Awesome, right? And now we're in the little room. I don't even know what it is. Anybody else in here? Bing, bang, boom. They take care of it. Ooh, a little bit of noise over there. And what do we learn? What's in the little box?
Little cute.
What the heck? Is there any chance? What are the numbers? Sorry to be data nerd here. What are the numbers of people who watched all the way through episode 1 and episode 2, saw that cute green thing, and said, no, I'm not going to watch episode 2? 0. It's 0. Everyone went back for week 2 because, can I hold him by his ears?
No, Dad.
I was just kidding. What?
If that on the instructions, not hold by your ears.
I was joking. Can I hold you by your ears? And we meet this guy. He doesn't yet have his necklace. He hasn't had soup yet. We don't know how freaking hilarious his little personality is. But apparently if you do, I'm not going to grab his ears. Don't yell at me. If I do this, he didn't do a dang thing because...
I turned him off. You want to turn him off?
Kind of kills the whole... Sandy North's in the house. What's going on? Michael saying hello to everybody. Sherry in the house. What's going on? Glad to see you here. Sounds a little bit like an angry cat.
Sounds a little bit like Everly.
Did I say hello to you, Josh? Hello to you, Josh. Glad to see you're here. So, episode 1, I feel like we've got through the whole... Okay. My face. So, episode 1 is done. I'm in love with it because it is fully Dave Filoni space western. I love the Mandalorian idea. Obviously, my daughter's a big Mandalorian fan, so I was excited from that perspective. But boy, did they introduce us to some awesome characters. I put an L in characters. I know there's no L in characters. If you're just learning to spell today, please ignore my usage of the letter L in characters. I have no idea where it came from. I need some coffee. But anyway, I loved it so much. We got a monster. We got a really cool Doug Chiang. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Is one of my favorite people in the world. He's basically the creator of most of the spaceships in the entire universe of Star Wars, and he did a great job with the Razor Crest. I'm in love with the Razor Crest. The monster that wants to eat the Razor Crest is awesome. The Mandalorian armor is awesome. Baby Yoda is awesome. The ILMNOP guy is awesome. I love. That's what I said. I love the little blurg guys. Blurgs. I love the We Have Spoken guy. We named a show after the guy. He's only in like 4 episodes. He's so good. We're going to get to his bad day in a later. But I fell in love with so much stuff in season 1, episode 1. They cooked me and they wouldn't let me go. I was fully in. I want more. I can't believe that we need to wait over a year for more Mandalorian. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many baby frog eggs do you give episode 1 of season 1? On a scale of 1 to 10, how many little baby eggs do you give it?
Probably about 20.
I gave it 47,000. That is how good it was. There's 0% chance I wouldn't have keep going. And I'm just sad that we have to wait for season 3.
Yeah, although there's no way Noah's not going to come back for the season 3 of The Mandalorian, considering how they left it.
Right. Well, it's a year and a half. People change. BDF in the house, what's going on? You're not late. You're here. I appreciate you being here, buddy. What else do you want to tell the people as we end the show on season 1, episode 1? The Mandalorian. I had the hiccups all of a sudden.
The show is crazy awesome.
Yeah, well, they know. They already know. 2 years ago now.
And we have spoken.
Oh, we're done right now. I was going to give some stats about the Mandalorian, but what's your favorite character that we met in? I mean, it's going to be Baby Yoda, right?
Actually, it was Mando. Mando's my favorite. Him and Bo-Katan.
Yeah? Well, we hadn't met Bo-Katan yet. I mean, in the first one.
Oh.
No problem. Back. Say, hey, again. What's that?
Mando and Grogu. They're my 2 favorites. They're adorable.
Let's go through a couple of things. So it was written by Jon Favreau, produced by Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau, better known as the Doctor in Elf.
Cool.
He did Elf. He did Lion King. He did Jungle Book. He did so many things. So many things. Carl Weathers is Grief. Werner Herzog, we didn't even talk about him as the client. Creepy old Empire guy. He talks creepy. Scary, was awesome, right? They used him in a lot of promos. And Dr. Pershing, kind of, annoying, nerdy guy, kind of fun. Nick Nolte, we talked about him, is it Kuehl? How do you say his name? The guy who's We Have Spoken? How do you say him?
Creel.
Okay, whatever. And then Taiki Waititi, who I think, so this guy is director of a future episode, but he's also the voice of the IGL MNOP. Do you know that? Okay. I'm glad to tell you. I'm just here to give you information that you already have, so you're welcome.
No, sorry, I meant no. I meant to say no. I did not know that. Sorry.
It's okay. I like that you pat me. What else? What else do I want to tell you? I guess that's it. Reception was amazing. On Rotten Tomatoes, the episode had an approval rating of 90% based on reviews from 78 critics. An average rating of 7.76 out of 10. I don't understand how it didn't get 9s and 10s the whole way. Brian Tellerico of RogerEbert.com said the parent was like the character at the show Senator. This guy knows the job. Hook the viewer and keep them hooked as the monthly subscription cost renews. That's why you don't like people. I think it was such a good hook. It was such a good hook. And if you didn't already think that Jon Favreau could write his own ticket, Elf. By the way, people like to make fun of the Lion King, the animated or the live action. One of the top 20 grossing movies of all time. Iron Man. He's happy in the Iron Man world. This guy could walk onto set and punch each actor in the face and still get any job he wanted. He wouldn't do that. He seems like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's a jerk. I have no idea. But my point is, he could write his own ticket. He is a money printing machine, and Disney is happy to have him on as the Mandalorian. Dave Filoni is the pulse of Star Wars. They have it. I love this show so much. I'm gonna end. We got we have a little bit of time. Grandma's in the house. My mom and your grandma's in the house. What's going on? I guess the favorite thing. I guess we're just gonna end it with what's your favorite thing about Series 1, Episode 1 that we just completed reviewing right now.
I found it super cool how they gave us little bits of information, but they left a lot about Mando and Grogu both a mystery.
I
They
think
gave us little bits of it, but they didn't give us the full story.
I mean, there's a lot to tell, yeah. It hooks us in that first scene so well. We've already talked about that, but it leaves us with an impossible. How do you not come back to see what the heck? Is that a Yoda? We didn't know there was more Yodas out there. Oh my gosh, I never even thought of this. What is it? Yoda was his name. Is there a species? We don't even know the species name to this day. We don't even know any. All we know is he's green and he can go like this and jack you up. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's amazing. I love it, and I love this show. We have spoken. Episode 1 of 2021, almost in the can. We want to tell the people before we say goodbye. Hey, howdy, hey, in the house. What's going on? Happy New Year to you. Anything else you want to talk about Mandalorian before I tell them about the next couple shows and what we got coming up, and then we'll do the We Have Spoken thing at the end. Anything else about the show you want to get to that I missed?
Nope, we covered pretty much everything.
So listen, this has been a lot of fun. This is going to be every Saturday. We go Monday through Friday as work allows at 9:15 for Good Morning Disney. You can read it. It's right. Where is it? It's right there. And me and my wife usually talk about the news of the day in Disney. You know, annual passes about it. You could go park hopping. What's going on? Lots of new news on the way as Disneyland starts to reopen. I send myself little. I email myself news bits, and since the holidays, we've had so many non-days to do the show. There's no way we get through all this stuff on Monday morning. There's so much to tell you in the world of Disney news and stuff. We'll skip probably 90% of it to get to the more recent stuff. But Monday through Friday, 9:15 on my time, 10:15 in Eastern time, other 15s, other places. My brain's not working. It's a lot of fun, and we start off most of our week, 5 days a week, doing that show. We do skip sometimes when we have family or work stuff that gets in the way, but usually 4 or 5 days a week we do that. It's a lot of fun. Saturday is going to be this show We Have Spoken. I probably need to get my own little logo for it, but that's me and you, her show, me helping her out to grow the channel, and we're going to end up putting this on her channel at some point, but we haven't got there yet. We got to promote.
Have a suggestion for a logo?
Of course you can.
This little guy using the Force with a cup of soup in one hand.
So I have a logo of him eating Dole Whip because I'm Dole Whip Dad. Would you like to use that one? Do you even know about it?
Sort of.
Would you like to see it?
Sure.
Would you guys like to see it? You guys can't respond out loud, but I haven't even thought about doing this, buddy, but it could.
Oh, that's cute.
It's Baby Yoda having a Dole Whip. I had that made.
That is so adorable.
Would you like it? I mean, I'm Dole Whip Dad, and it's a Baby Yoda show. We could do that if you want. Or we have another one. Doesn't matter. Think about it later. So anyway, I think that's pretty fun. I hope you guys like that. Regardless, Monday through Friday, Good Morning Disney. Bunch of other shows too, by the way. But I do have some other things coming up. I filmed yesterday 4 channel trailers. Dole Whip Dad, The Animated Investor, Batesball Talk, and Jeff Bates. This show is the Disney show, Dole Whip Dad. The Animated Investors, where I try to talk you into buying Starbucks stock instead of a Starbucks cup of coffee. Number 3, Batesball Talk. I keep telling the story. I've wanted to do a baseball show for 3 years in a row now. 2 years ago, as baseball season started, we had to move. Just didn't work. Then last year, I had the plan to do a baseball channel, a sports channel with baseball being the lead. And the world got stupid and we didn't have a baseball season. It ended up having a baseball season, but we didn't do it. I'm doing a baseball channel. It's going to be a sports channel. It's going to be me talking sports. And I did the trailer yesterday. So you might see that today. You might see that tomorrow on another channel. And then I've got a Jeff Bates channel. PAX. I should have PAX on this one. It's going to be me talking about how to grow on YouTube and how to grow everywhere else. Thank you, PAX. I love it. It's fun. And so anyway, we're just going to grow. I'm not going to stop doing Disney. I love Disney. We're going to keep doing Disney. But I've got enough stuff on there. I want to do some other things too. And I don't, like my buddy Pete, who was in the chat earlier, me and him and Kelly are doing a football show, and it's really become his show, and it's on his channel now. But I don't want a football show or a baseball show on this channel. It confuses the viewer. So I'm going to have different channels. All right. I mean, it could work. It's working for Pete. But my point is, I have other things to say. And I hope you'll dive in on that. If you don't like sports, you don't have to go for the sports channel, obviously. But if you're into sports, I hope you give it a shot. If you're into investing, I hope you give that one a chance. And if you want to learn how to grow on YouTube, the Creator Talk Show, which is every Sunday night, it's kind of impetus for what I'm just going to call Jeff Bates. That's my name, so it's convenient. I think that's enough of that. Tuesday night on this channel, Welcome Home, the DVC show will be back. I haven't had a members only Zoom during the holidays, so we'll get that up and running. Well, I guess Friday. So I don't even know what day it is. So like 6 days from now or 5, whatever the heck it is. What else? I think that's it. The world got stupid and we didn't even have a I know, right? I want to be part of the baseball. Dude, you're in. Tell me, who's your team? So I don't want to waste her time and your time, but let me give you 30 seconds on the baseball channel. The idea has always been for me to go. So I'm in Texas. I'm a Dodgers fan. So when I get home and I finish up my work and I eat my dinner, and now I do my side hustle, which is this. I have fun with YouTube. And then the kids go to bed. Actually, you never go to bed. You're like a vampire. But Paula goes to bed. You stay up late. Yeah. But when the kids are done and Paula's done, I usually come in here and I turn on MLB and I watch the end of the Dodger game or whatever, and I get caught up. The idea will be for me to go live and talk the news of the day in sports, baseball, UFC, football, but mostly baseball, 80% baseball and other stuff too. But I'm a baseball nut. I love all sports, but I'm a baseball nut. And if I'm going live and I'm talking about, hey, Clayton Kershaw's throwing a no-hitter, Mike Trout hit 4 home runs and the Angels lost, whatever, right? Angels, oh, there you go, Pax. I just talked about Trout. Perfect timing, right? So we'll be I know, right? I see you. I see it, Mark. So anyway, we're going to do that, and we're going to grow a baseball channel. I love sports radio. I listen to a lot of sports radio. I grew up in San Diego, so I got the LA and the San Diego sports channels, radio channels, and they were great. I moved out here to Texas, where actually all sports radio started, and it's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. So Arrogant Jeff thinks he can do a good job, and he's going to try his best. But thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. And Creator Talk will be on tomorrow night, which is really where I want to go with that. Me and Lynn do Creator Talk, where we talk about how to grow on YouTube. I really like that channel or that show, and that's going to be the impetus for the Jeff Bates channel, where I'm going to talk about tools and tricks to grow, because I think growth is awesome. I think that's enough. Let me get caught up in chat. I'll ask you what you want to say, and then we'll leave. Pax wants to be part of the baseball channel. Done. You're in. I love you, buddy. The world got yeah, I already read that. Angels, love it. Reagan's eyes are showing her thoughts. I always tell her people can read her mind. She spaces out. She's mad. Anything she can read. I like to play poker, and everyone on the planet needs to be aware that you're always playing poker. But that's a whole other conversation. The Lynn Project will be in the hot seat with Pete this Sunday. I didn't realize that was her week. Very cool. Football is my jam, but baseball is second. Love it. Eclectic Meemaw. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Pax, and thank you to all of you. And thank you to you. I love how excited you are for the show. I love that we get to do this together. How did you think episode 1 went? We're at like the last minute of We Have Spoken season 2, episode 1, 2021. How do you think it went?
I thought it went great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like that all the people coming to see your reaction to my reaction to your reaction?
Yeah.
We have spoken. Thanks so much for being here. Have the best day ever. She is going to end with,
we have spoken. And have a fantastic day.
Love you all. Thank you so much. If you had fun, come back on Saturday morning, 9:15 our time, 10:15 Eastern time, every Saturday morning. Eclectic Meemaw says Red Sox and Dodgers fans. Mookie Betts, baby. Mookie Betts. So seriously, the channel trailers, I filmed them. I gotta do the editing and all that, but I'll probably do that today. But we got some family coming over. They might even be here. I don't really know. And I don't know if it's like for an hour or all day, but if it's for an hour, I'll do the video stuff today. If they're here all day, it'll probably be a tomorrow thing. But watch for those channels. I'll do a video on this channel about the other channels at some point. I think that's it. Happy New Year. 2021 is going to be awesome for a bunch of reasons. For me personally, one of the reasons is going to be this show every week, talking Star Wars with you and with you. I love you. Oh, I got hit in the face with a, what is it? Like a.
These are my Disney ears.
Some kind of flower. Love you all. Have the best day ever. See you soon. That's it for now. We have
spoken.